Hello and welcome back, PPL fans, to week 2 of our Pokemon Pick'em Predictions series. That's a lot of P's to be saying in a row. I don't have a pop filter on this mic. I wonder how many times we're going to peak the audio this week by saying P's. God's sake. But yes, welcome back. This is the series where obviously we ask you guys over on our Discord server to pick the outcome of every single one of our games this week. Last week there were some very big shocks and a lot of the community decisions were completely incorrect last week. How much better can you guys have done this week? Now, as always, if you want to play along at home, do us a favour. Down in the description below, there will be a link to the PPL fan Discord server where you can join in, meet some of the coaches, chat to other amazing people in the community, and just have a good old time, as well as join in with our Pick'ems series. But yes, without further ado, let's get in and see how you guys did this week. Now, our first game this week in Pick'ems is going to be a very, very good match, one I personally believe was game of the week, and that is Lars ellysux and his Borussia Don fan versus Joey Pokieaim MD and his LA Wakers. Now, of course, Joey last week taking a bit of a battering versus Drewby, a very tough matchup, and he did take the L in that one, whereas Lars ellysux did manage to take the win against MountA and the Immunity Idols. So, last week's winner versus last week's loser. But how are they going to get on this week? Well, you guys in our Discord server decided that pretty heftily in favour of Joey Pokieaim MD. 45 of you, in fact, voting for Joey, whereas only 21 of you went for Lars. But was your confidence correct? Did the Pokieaim doctor himself manage to take the win this week? Well, congratulations to all 45 of you. You are absolutely spot on. Joey did indeed manage to take the W this week, managing to beat up Lars with a 3-0 differential. A very big victory for Joey, very important for this season. Could really steady his ship this season and set his season off to a very, very good start. Commiserations to Lars, of course. Played a good game, but you just can't beat the doctor, man. Now, our second game this week pitted two very, very competent coaches against each other. We had Shuckle King, SK himself, and the Philadelphia Stunkies versus JV and the Atlanta Victinis. Now, these two coaches have a very big pedigree in building very strange, wacky sets that always tend to do the job. But what did you guys think was going to happen? Well, it was a very, very close vote this week between these two coaches, with 32 of you voting in favour of Shuckle King and 29 of you voting for JV. So only 3 votes swing in it. Could have gone either way. But who was the victor? Well, after a very interesting game, very back and forth, the winner in this one was Shuckle King. So, congratulations to the 32 of you who went with SK. Very, very good performance from him. Commiserations to JV. The V letting you down. You can't claim yourself to be among the envy and gravy just yet. You've got a bit more work you need to do. And hopefully, next week, you'll be able to do so. Now, our third game of the week pitted MountA and the Immunity Idols versus Q the Costa Rican and his Chicago Pulse. Both of these coaches, of course, were involved in some very, very good games last week. Q managing to take the victory over Ellie and the Shanghai Dragons with that incredible Mirror Herb, Hisuian Lilligant, and unfortunately MountA taking the L versus Lars ellysux in that epic game where Lars just pulled out all of the crazy mind games and managed to pull the win. But MountA obviously has a point to prove this week. So was he able to take a W and avenge last week's defeat? Well, 40 of you in our Discord believed that that was the case, compared to 22 of you who voted for the Chicago Pulse. But who was the victor in this game? Was Q able to keep his winning record going? Did MountA manage to avenge that defeat last week? Well, after some stellar performances from a Titan and a Scizor in particular, MountA was the victor of this game with a very close, hard-fought 1-0 victory. Congratulations to MountA, commiserations to Q the Costa Rican, and of course, congratulations to all 40 of you in our Discord who voted for the Immunity Idols. Very, very good performance from you guys. Well done. Keep up the good work. Our fourth game of the week this week pits two of the most interesting coaches against each other. We of course have Mephisto, the man who imparts wisdom to those who seek it, and his niece Jinx, versus Nexus and his Chicago Pulse. Both of these content creators make fantastic content and are very entertaining characters. They are very engaging, so yeah, very interesting to watch, and they have very cool play styles. They like to do unconventional things with their builds and bring the most heat of sets. But which of these two crazy competitors were able to take the win this week? Well, after a slight loss last week, Nexus was the loser in terms of our voting this week, with 23 votes for Nexus compared to 41 for the Black Charlie Sheen himself. But was your faith correct? Did Mephisto manage to take this win? Well, thankfully he did, with a 3-0 victory. A very, very good performance from Mephisto this week. Low kicks in particular, putting in a lot of work, claiming lives, and just not really giving Nexus much of a chance to respond. But yes, congratulations to the 41 of you who voted correctly this week. I personally had Nexus, so I'm not so happy, but I am very happy for those of you who got this pick'em correct. Now, game number 5 this week had the return of the Lord Envy and his San Diego Chim Chargers versus Drewby and the New York Marauders. Let's go Marauders. Now, of course, Envy last week was a little bit unlucky when facing Jack Gravy and was not able to pull out a win. A little bit unlucky, but Drewby, of course, was able to get that victory, capitalizing upon a very favorable matchup to claim a victory versus Pokeyame MD. But did that affect your guys' thinking too much? Our pick'ems this week had MV as the favourite for this game. We had Drewby with 18 votes and Lord Envy with 46. But did the Lord repay your faith, or did the Marauders keep on marching on? Well, after a very, very interesting game and a very good performance, Envy was the winner this week with a 4-0 victory versus the Marauders. So congratulations to all 46 of you. The Lord has done you right this week and you have gotten this one correct. Unfortunate for those Marauders fans who are putting their faith in the Marauders, such as myself, but it's okay, we go again next week. Now, our 6th game this week pitted two of my close friends against each other. We had Under the Radar, Kelly and his Maryland Terrapins versus Vancouver Titans, coached by Jack Gravy. Now, having seen the matchup and having seen how these two played last week, I personally was really struggling to pick a side. But I edged it based on the matchup and decided to go for Under the Radar and the Maryland Terrapins. I voted for them, and so did 34 other people in the Discord. So 35 of us voted for Maryland Terrapins versus 26 for the Vancouver Titans. But were we correct? Of course, Jack is a very competent player, but when you're up against a Sneasler and a Staraptor, there's very little you can do to stem the onslaught of clicking buttons. And Kelly put in a very, very good performance this week and claims a 3-0 victory versus the Vancouver Titans. So congratulations to Kelly, and congratulations to you guys in the Discord who voted for him, and commiserations to the 26 of you who went with Jack. There will be plenty of chance in the season for Jack to make this up to the rest of you. So keep your heads up and we'll get them next time. And our final game this week pits two of my favourite coaches in the league up against each other. We have Ellie and the Shanghai Dragons, someone I've known for absolutely ages, who is a very, very talented competitor, versus Addison, the Queen of Draft League herself. And you guys on the Discord thought that Addison was the heavy, heavy favourite for this one, with 46 votes in favour of Addison, compared to only 15 for Ellie. Ellie obviously was the underdog for this one, but was the underdog able to make that David versus Goliath victory? In this case, unfortunately not. this match came at a very unfortunate time for Ellie, and she was never actually able to establish a foothold in this game versus Addison. Some very smart brings on Addison's part gave the London Shockwave a fabulous 5-0 victory this week, putting Addison right up at the top of the standings this week. Ellie making it back-to-back losses, and unfortunately that puts her right down near the bottom. But there is plenty of time in the season for Ellie to stage a comeback, and knowing her for years, I know what she is capable with. My money will be with Ellie this season to make a comeback and claim some very big victories. But who do you guys think is going to be the victor this season? Who do you guys think is going to be capable of pulling out those W's? If you would like to play along next week, make sure you join the Discord, which will be linked down in the description below. Head on over to the Pick'em section and get your votes in before next week's video. But that's all from me. My name has been OnesieBanette, and thank you PPL fans for watching along. I will catch you next week for another installment of the Pick'em Prediction series. Catch you later, guys. Bye-bye.